from every angle. She rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama. Yeah. And Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen. She's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh. Oh. Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, you're mine, you're my. Treat her like no price could be put on how much she's worth. So valuable, she's the soul of the earth. Yeah. All a part of God's genius plan. Powerful as she can be. The man's H-E-L-P. Yes, sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She is humble, honest, and helpful. What I like about her is she's educated. She's my ebony, empowering. Yeah. She's my queen. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She's amazing to me. Humble, honest, if you ever had one. She's educated, she's my queen. She built me up, she keeps me going. Sophisticated, strong, she's my queen. Simply amazing. She is, oh my, she's my queen. She's educated and she's empowering. She is my queen.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello, 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 hello. This is R.C. Blakes, and I'm back at it again. Here we are on another Monday night. This is the Monday following Queenology 2023, which happened in the city of New Orleans and was so amazing. My voice is not that great. I am tired, but I had to come on just to address, I guess we call it now, Queen Nation. It's amazing how God brought women from all over the United States of America and from other parts of the world, from Poland, from, I think, Norway, from Guyana, from Jamaica. We had so many Jamaicans in the house, Canada, and from all parts of the United States. It was absolutely amazing. But tonight, I may not be that long with you tonight, but I wanted to come and share my heart with you. I want to talk about something that is in direct alignment with the Queenology message. I want to talk about the crisis of broken consciousness. You hear me, women hear me use that term quite a lot, broken consciousness. And broken consciousness is defined like this. It is the lack of self-awareness that allows a woman to settle for standards and treatment that is beneath her. It is also the inability to accept the reality of a God-ordained status because of an empty self-esteem. Broken consciousness is the woman being cemented to a painful past and incapable of embracing a brilliant future. And one of the things we've talked about for years is that a woman with broken consciousness quite often uses mascara therapy. She tries to paint the pain away. But there's a crisis of broken consciousness that I want to look at today. Let me see here. I did a lesson, when was this one done? In 2022, called The Traps of Broken Consciousness. And we said in that particular lesson that the woman is consumed with comparisons. We said number two, she has a humiliating competition with her own sisterhood. She has an endless list of complaints, and we said she compromises. Well, in today's lesson, the crisis of broken consciousness, we want to go a little further. And I'm teaching this because I need you to be able to locate this mindset when it is operating within you. Because you have to understand this. Broken consciousness rules the woman's life from the subconscious level. From the subconscious level. She is exhibiting these behaviors, and she's showing up socially in this broken fashion, and many times she's unaware. And so as I teach this, I want you to hear it, and I need you to be able to look introspectively that you might be able to locate yourself and your own behavior, because the world conditions you. We call it what in Queenology? Female slave conditioning. The world conditions you intentionally to function from a place of brokenness, that the world might manage you at will. And if your mind is going to be renewed, your mind is only renewed intentionally. We were talking about this in church Sunday. Shifting your mindset is never an automatic process. It is always manual. There's no button you can press to shift your mindset. A mindset shift is always manual. It requires volition. It requires a revelation of your true condition. It requires a revelation of God's best. And then it requires the volition to move from point A to point B or point Z. And so the beginnings of this is that I must put before you the mirror of consciousness, that you might see yourself fully and completely relative to where you are and what fruit is hanging from the limbs of your life. Because there's no sense in claiming to be a boss chick or a queen, and at the same time you're functioning dysfunctionally, because you're operating from a place of broken consciousness. In other words, you're not clear in your own soul relative to who you are, what you're worth, and how you should show up in the world. And so rather than being a queen that wears her crown, you're a group thinker that runs with the crowd. She who wears the crown sets the standard. Number one, we talk about the crisis of broken consciousness, which is what many of your sisters are dealing with today. They have no clue who they are, what their value is. So they're like a Chanel bag being sold on a Walmart shelf. Number one, when a woman is suffering from broken consciousness, she doesn't know her worth. She doesn't know who she is. And she's a part of, she's a group thinker. She's not wearing her crown. She's not setting the standard. She's she follows the trends. Number one, broken consciousness produces within the woman a confused soul. Now, this is where the woman desires certain things, but she's not attracted to the thing she desires. She's okay. Let me bring it where you can reach it. Put it where you can reach it. Everybody wants a fit body. I would love to have a six-pack, right? I don't, not yet, not presently. But though that's my desire, I'm not attracted to the foods or the activities that would produce that very real possibility. Well, when a woman is suffering from broken consciousness, especially in relationships, this is where she wants a husband, but she's not attracted to men that are husband caliber. This is where she pushes back on my teachings and people like me, and she says, he's not my type. well, where is the type? Where is that manufactured? That's manufactured in chemical reactions in the brain that are largely linked to past trauma, social conditioning. This thing we call type does not even boil down to a logical cognitive process. It doesn't even require thought. It does not boil down to any spiritual process that requires discernment. It's just a chemical reaction based on what I see, what I smell, what I hear, and you run your life based on an instinct that 99% of the time runs you ragged, runs you into the ground. So you say when your soul is broken, you're so confused that you say, I want a husband, but you're never attracted to husband caliber men. You hate abusive men. You hate players, but they're the ones that your broken soul is actually comfortable with. So we'll introduce a husband caliber man, and he'll treat you with honor, dignity, and respect, and you'll be so uncomfortable with it, you'll find a way to sabotage that relationship, and you'll find your way back in the arms of a man that's going to use you, lie to you, abuse you, because subconsciously that's what your broken soul is actually comfortable with. Even though your mouth is saying, I hate this, I deserve better than this, I want a husband, the confusion in your soul does not allow you to be comfortable with the kind of man that is what you say you desire. And I love what Romans chapter 7, verses 14 and 15 says in the Amplified. It's the theme of these verses right here is the conflict of the two natures. He says, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am a creature of the flesh, worldly, self-reliant, carnal, and unspiritual, sold into slavery to sin and serving under its control. Verse 15 says, for I do not understand my own actions. I am baffled and bewildered by them. I do not practice what I want to do, but I am doing the very thing I hate and yielding to my human nature, my worldliness, my sinful capacity. If that doesn't sum it up, I don't know what does. When a woman is struggling with broken consciousness, it shows up in a confused soul, especially in the area of romantic relationships. You say that quality men, are not your type. When the reality is, what I've discovered, what the reality is in most cases, is that your broken soul actually can't believe that you could be the type of a quality man. That's why you sabotage it. You get a great man that's honorable, that loves you, that treats you with dignity and respect, and is faithful and loyal and all of these things. And the broken part of you cannot believe that you qualify for a man like that. So you sabotage that. And then the voice of your broken consciousness says, oh, he just wasn't my type. And then you go back to the very kind that has broken you over and over and over and over again. So you're living your life with a double-mindedness. And the Bible says in James chapter 1 and verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A double-minded woman is unstable in all of her ways. When are we double-minded? We're double-minded when there is no alignment between our spirit, the part of us that's connected to God, our soul, where our mind, will, and emotions function, and our bodies. When you come into alignment, God is going to direct, he's going to give you direction through your spirit, Your spirit is going to give instruction to your soul. You're not going to be led anymore by impulse. You're going to be led by revelation. And all of that is going to play out on the canvas of your behavior, your choices. But as long as you're double-minded, the Bible says you will be unstable in all of your ways. Because one of the major crises of a woman with broken consciousness is a confused soul. Number two, when a woman is struggling with broken consciousness, she has a sense of dependent value. And now you say, what is that? What do you mean by that? She has a sense of dependent value. And this is the idea that your value as a woman depends on things outside of you. This is where the red pill community teaches you that you are not a high value woman if you are overweight, if you're not a certain size. This is where the red pill community teaches you that once you get to a certain age, your value goes down. And so you get to that certain age and you become desperate because this is what you're indoctrinated with on a daily. And a woman that has a broken consciousness, she believes that her value is dependent on being the right age. Oh, I'm over 30, so, my value's dropping. Like, the toxic sisterhood tries to make men believe that their value is based on how many zeros line up in their annual income. Just because a man can afford you does not mean he can value you. A high value man is based on far more than finances, my dear. A high value woman is based on more than fleeting aesthetics. All of these things are passing away. You ain't fine like that but for 2 weekends. The rest of your life, you got to live from the inside out. You're around here thinking that your value is in being cute. Your value is in being a certain age. Like I look at some of you younger women who deal with older women like you think you never gonna get old. Babe, just keep on waking up. It's gonna happen overnight. One of these days, you're gonna wake up with your young, unwise self and you're gonna look in that mirror and normally you would splash some cold water on your face and all the little lines from sleep would just pop out. One morning, you're going to wake up, you're going to splash that water, and you're going to look back up in the mirror, and those lines ain't going nowhere. Because your value is not based on your age. Your value, the world tells you, and you buy into it when you're a woman of broken consciousness, that your value is based on your relationship status. And so you say, though I found the cure to cancer, though I feed, 3 million kids a year between Africa and India, and though I finance ministry, missionaries all around the world, and I've written 2,000 bestsellers, I'm of no value because I don't have a man. Because when you're a woman that is struggling with broken consciousness, you cannot fathom that your value is innate. Gold does not need to attach itself to anything to be valuable. Its value is innate. A diamond does not need to be attached to anything to create value. Its value is innate. Oil does not need to attach itself to anything to be of value. Its value is innate. You, my dear, you, queen, do not need to be attached to anything or anyone. Your value is innate. Listen to what Psalm 139:14 says. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. What did he say? I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, talking about the Creator, and that my soul, my consciousness knows right well. I am not broken in terms of my self perspective. I see myself. I know myself. I value myself as the Creator created me valuable. But when a woman is struggling with broken consciousness, she feels like she has to be a certain body type. She has to fit into a certain body type category to be of value. So you have women that are lean and slender who are going to the cosmetic surgeon to get stuff put in them to make themselves voluptuous. You have women that are naturally voluptuous that are having stuff vacuumed out to make themselves thin, because broken consciousness is a confused ride. You're never allowed to feel like you are enough or you are good enough. You're always striving for, because you feel like your value is dependent on something outside of you. But when you're queen conscious, babe, you wake up in the morning and you realize that you ain't got to add nothing to your life. You don't have to have nobody present in your life. Your value is innate. And anybody that cannot recognize your value is not worthy of your presence. This is why God said to Jeremiah, he said, I've called you to be a prophet. You're going to do X, Y, Z. Jeremiah said, I can't speak, for I'm just a child. God said, don't tell me that again about you just a child. You're going to go wherever I tell you to go. You're going to speak wherever I tell you to speak, and I'm going to do the rest. You have to stop allowing the voice of your broken consciousness to demean you, to diminish you, to shrink you in your own mind with your own words. Your value is not dependent on if somebody marries you. Your value is not dependent on what labels you wear from the mall. Your value is not dependent on what size you are. But if you need to lose some weight, you do that because you're making some healthier choices, not because you think somebody else is going to value you more if you're smaller or if you're heavier. You out here trying to gain. Babe, your value is innate. It's that broken consciousness that says to you, your value is dependent on something outside of you, something other than you. Now, number 3, and I'm almost done. Can you believe it? I think I'm going to be early tonight. When a woman, the crisis of broken consciousness, not only is the woman's soul confused, between what she's actually comfortable with versus what she actually wants. Not only does she live with a sense of dependent value, she can't see or put it together in her own mind that her value is built in. She doesn't need to add anything or subtract anything to create value. But the third crisis of a woman with broken consciousness is that she lives with a scarcity mindset. Excuse me for drinking this water. She lives with a scarcity mindset. And this is when you begin to think that there are not enough opportunities for career advancement. So you look at your sisters that have already climbed the ladder to a certain extent, and you begin to get a little jealous or envious of them because you feel like the opportunities are running out, or, probably more than anything, women feel like there aren't enough good men, for her to have a husband. I hear it all the time. Well, there ain't no good men out here. There ain't no good men out here. Well, that's a scarcity mindset, and those of y'all that's around here constantly mouthing that kind of rhetoric, many of y'all haven't done the work to be prepared if the man showed up. Any woman that's really doing her personal work and is actually preparing to be the one that the one she's looking for would be looking for, she not around here with all that negative talk about ain't no good men out here. You daily work on being the best version of you as a woman, because ain't no scarcity of men. God, with all of the homosexual men, all the men in jail, all the men that are dogs and not husband material, God can raise a man up anytime he chooses. Ask me how I know. I was a complete dog. A complete dog. God caught me. God broke me down. God cleaned me up. God raised me up. And God made me go back and get my wife and tell her I'm ready to be a husband. And God made me a faithful husband for the last 29 years in October. So just like God pulled me from this toxic pool that all the women talk about. I had the women laughing in Queenology this weekend about where's this pool? I need the GPS on this because I need to go and drain this pool. But if there's such a pool, I was in it. God plucked me from that pool like a fisherman would catch a fish. God cleaned me up. God filleted me and prepared me for Lisa Blake's and made me a faithful husband. First woman in my life I've ever been faithful to. If God can do it for Lisa Blake's, he can do it for you. But as long as you have this scarcity mindset and you keep on running your mouth, speaking this stuff into the atmosphere, you're vibrating at a low level that will never produce the results or the outcomes you're looking for. Because a woman with broken consciousness can never see herself as having it all. So because you can't see yourself as having it all, you join the band of other women with broken consciousness and you say, ain't no good men out here. It's impossible. Ain't none out here. And the reason you're saying that is because subconsciously or maybe even consciously, you don't believe that you would qualify. Because every man is not a dog. If every man were a dog, you would not be sitting here watching me right now. You don't believe every man is a dog. Why do you listen to me faithfully if every man is a dog? Ain't nothing special about me. I'm not good as a whole lot of these men out here. God did what he did in my life. If he did it in my life, he can do it in your man's life. If you just be the best version of you, God will raise your man up and God will deliver your man into your life. You ain't got to chase no man. You ain't got to run no man down. You just got to be. And your husband will see, recognize, pursue, and you will approve. But as long as you have a scarcity mindset, you will never, ever, ever realize your best relational outcome. I love what Matthew chapter 6 has to say. And it reads like this: Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they? Which of you by taking thought or worrying can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all of his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought or worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or how we gonna get a man, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. Listen to verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. If you commit yourself to the work that you need to do that will please God, God will add the things to your life that you've been desperately pursuing and in search of. But there's no such thing as scarcity. There's no such thing as scarcity. That's a mindset. That's a low vibrational mindset. We operate in abundance. We operate in abundance. Come on now. See, when you get your mind right and you get healed and you go to therapy, a counselor, and you lock in on purpose and you begin to perfect who you are, you get back in school, you get in courses, or you do whatever you got to do to bring forth the best version of you. It's going to be amazing to you how many opportunities, even relational opportunities, will open up for you. Now, number four, what are we talking about? We're talking about the crisis of broken consciousness. Number one, we said that the woman that's struggling with broken consciousness has a confused soul. Number two, we said she has a sense of dependent value. She can't see herself as innately valuable. Number three, we said she struggles with a scarcity mindset. Oh my. I had a random thought. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. She struggles with a scarcity mindset. Now, number four, she lives with a sense of desperation. She's desperate. This is when the woman abandons the ship of her own dignity. She abandons the ship of her own dignity to drown in a sea of desperation. She gets to a certain age. She's not the perfect size. She doesn't have a man. She's not married. Maybe she has a kid. And now she's buying into all of the rhetoric of the world. And now she's desperate. And desperation on a woman in a world of perverted, misogynistic men is like blood flowing from the veins of a person in the ocean. It attracts the sharks. This is the wrong world to be desperate in. I see too many desperate women. Oh, don't tell me you're not desperate. You don't tell me you're not desperate. You're naked on the internet just to get attention. You get naked on the internet just to get likes. You showing, don't tell me you're not naked. We can see through all that stuff you think you covered up with. Desperate. You bowing down, proposing to men. And they turning you down on camera. You desperate. You put men before your own children. You're desperate. You spending all day long worrying about a man when your bills are backed up. You ain't even worrying about your own. You ain't worrying about your own pocketbook. You ain't worrying about your own bag. You're desperate. And when a woman is struggling with broken consciousness, one of the crises is that she becomes desperate. Y'all lining up to be a part of a team now. You trying to make it right. Y'all on here. Y'all all over the social media trying to validate a man having 3 different women. You didn't join the team. Bible said it would happen though. In Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, it says, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread." He ain't gonna even feed you. Wear our own clothes. He ain't got to buy you nothing to wear. Just let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You feel like it is a reproach to be an individual. And now you are so desperate, you have lined up to be a part of the team. You got cats out here don't even have a rap. At least in my day, we had to have a rap. We had to know how to finesse a woman and say the right stuff to them. These dudes can't even speak the English language most of the time. These dudes dumb as a box of rocks. And y'all just lined up. You just lining up to sign up. Dude running the team. He the point guard. Yeah, don't send me no emails. Don't send me no email. Don't send me no emails. I ain't reading it. Don't send me no emails about you don't agree with me. I don't care nothing about you agreeing with me or not. Live your life the way you want to live it. Don't send me no email about it though. Just do what you want to do. You want to do it, keep on doing it. Check back with me in a little while. You'll figure out I knew what I was talking about. You see, you're desperate now. When you're desperate, your vision gets blurry. You can't see as well when you're desperate. Number 5, crisis of a woman with broken consciousness. Kind of bleeds out of what we just got through talking about, actually. She has no concept of individuality. This is where the woman is striving to mate before she's matured her own purpose and gifts. You trying to get a husband, you trying to get a man, you trying to know a man before you actually know yourself. You out here in the club with dresses you got to pull down to keep all of your cheeks from showing, or you just at a point where you just let them show. And you out here trying to get a relationship with somebody else before you've developed one with yourself. You have no concept of individuality. I like what 2 Corinthians 5 and 10 says. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his or her body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. What is that? Why did I read that text? When you die, the Creator is not going to call for y'all. He's calling for you to find out, what did you do with the life he gave you? You were not born into the world as a couple. You were born into the world as individuals. And your first mission is to maximize your individuality before you get carried away like Calgon with, I need a man. Before you need a man, you need a purpose. You need a self-view, a self-love, a self-perspective. You need self-honor. You need a concept of individuality. How do I know you have a concept of individuality? It's when you are fulfilled and happy by yourself. If you're not happy by yourself, you don't need anybody else in your life. Because if you have not mastered individuality and you're not happy by yourself, you're only trying to enter into the relationship with the idea that this person is going to give to me the thing that only I can, work out in my own life, only me and God. Your happiness, your sense of fulfillment comes from you and God, not a man. Come on, not a woman, but it comes from maximized individuality. But when you are a woman of broken consciousness, there's no concept of individuality. You start out from the get-go, I gotta get me a man. I mean, y'all start running a man down at 13, 14 years old because the world has taught you through female slave conditioning. If you don't have a man, your value, you're not worth much. And so you have no concept of individuality. What does that mean? That means most women are going to live and die and never manifest their potential, never actualize. Miles Monroe said, the wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard. Because people have carried all of the deposits of value that God put in them as individuals back to the grave. And because you have no concept of individuality, you're going to die with the gifts that were supposed to bless the lives of others. You're going to die with financial potential, spiritual potential. Come on now. You're going to die with books in you. You're going to die with businesses in you because you never had a concept of individuality. You never tapped into your why for being. And so when you don't tap into your why am I here? Who am I? When you don't tap into that and you force a relationship, what happens is you get imprisoned to a relationship most of the time that does not fulfill you because it was never designed to fulfill you. So what should have been a great marriage becomes nothing but wedlock. Because the only way you can create a great marriage is that you have to have a whole individual man and a whole individual woman that come together in a whole marriage. My brother said it so eloquently. A half a man and a half a woman coming together in marriage creates a whole mess. When you have a concept of individuality, you learn to master yourself. You take the time to master yourself. And there's an appointed time that you're able to say, now I'm ready. Now I've done my work. Now I'm ready. But you can't do that. You see, when you're struggling with broken consciousness, you got to jump at every opportunity, any opportunity that comes. You don't pray about it. You don't think about it. You don't ponder it. This is how you end up with all of these unequal yokings. This is why you always figure out a person is a narcissist or an abuser after the fact. It's because you didn't sit in your individuality to ask yourself a few questions. Who am I? Does this person match who I am? Where am I going? Is this person capable of going where I'm going? what is my circumference? Does this man have the capacity to accommodate me, or is he too small for me? It's only after you've jumped in the situation that you say, oh, he this and he that. Well, if you had sat in your individuality, you would have figured that out before you invested yourself. And then number 6, and I'm done. The crisis of a woman with broken consciousness. You have success remorse. In other words, you don't feel good about your achievements, your accomplishments, because at the back of your, let's say at the front of your mind, you believe that none of that matters if I don't have a man. And then the world says to you, well, the reason you don't have a man is because you make so much money. The reason you don't have a man is because you have such a nice house. The reason you don't have a man is because you drive such nice cars. So if you just can kind of just downgrade your life, then a man can be more comfortable with you. If you got to downgrade yourself to appeal to a man, that man was never designed to be with you anyway. He never had the capacity to accommodate you. And so there are a lot of y'all that are watching me now. You feel like, well, your success, your business, your ministry, your house, your income, your career, these are the things that are repelling men. And so you're living, rather than living with a sense of gratitude about the life God has given you, you're living with a sense of success remorse, which is ingratitude. And ingratitude is never going to attract, it's not an energy that's going to attract any positive outcomes. But when you wake up grateful and humble and you learn to sit in your femininity in spite of all of your accomplishments and your achievements, and you learn not to lead with all of that stuff. And you learn just to be authentically you. And you learn to sit in that individuality. And you learn to say, hey man, any man that will qualify to be my man is going to be enough man to appreciate everything that I am. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The crisis of a woman with broken consciousness. Now, I hope you got something out of that. That's my prayer for you, sincerely, that the Spirit of God will take these words and give you some revelation and give you some direction that you may live your life in a way that is queen conscious. In Jesus' name. Now listen, I've enjoyed this time with you today. I need you to go to the website, rcblakes.com, sign up for the mailing list. And listen, all of you that, you think about my online programs and what have you. Right now, we have at a reduced rate, we have produced the Mordecai Mission, which is usually a 3-month Zoom session with Lisa and I and the team, well, we've taken all of the lessons, it's 12 hours of teaching, 12 sessions, and we've made an online program of Mordecai Mission. So those of you that may not be able to afford the in person as in Zoom form of Mordecai Mission, you get all of the same material, just minus the meeting every week and the Q&A and the live Zoom. But all of the teachings that I teach the Mordecai group are there, and it's on my site now. For those of you that may want to take advantage of that, it's at a greatly reduced rate. Because I don't have to sit, and we don't have to do the Zoom every week. And I'm not certain when I'm going to be able to physically do Mordecai again, because my schedule is getting hectic again. And so I decided to put it in the online program format that you can have access to it. You can go through it at your own pace and go back and visit it whenever you want to. That's available at the website right now. Those of you that need counseling, I want you to look in the description. There's a link for BetterHelp Counseling. If you need to talk to somebody, remember now, I'm no therapist, I'm no counselor. If you need to talk to somebody, use that link. And if you use that link and decide to use them, BetterHelp will give you 10% off of the cost of their counseling, and in turn make a deposit into R.C. Blake's Ministries. Don't forget to go by Amazon, pick up all of my books. Yeah, be a blessing in that way. Now, thanks to all of you that have sown into our lives. Lisa and I love you so much. And once again, to all of the queens that came from around the world to make Queenology 2023 something phenomenal, greater than we've ever seen before. Lisa and I love you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you. Now, Queenology is coming to Atlanta, Georgia in 2024. And I think that they are pre-selling those tickets now. This Queenology sold out really, really fast. And I know that 2024 is going to sell out probably faster. And so you can go to queenology.net. And you can check that out now for the ATL. There are even payment plans. Now listen, thank you again for being with me. You're on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will see you at the top. And just know that Lisa and I love you. God bless you. Don't you leave out of here without liking this video. I need you to do that. That's your part. I'm doing my part. Can you do yours? All I need you to do is like the thing. That's all. I love you. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing day. God bless.
We here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. R.C. and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by R.C. Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by R.C. You may find all books written by R.C. and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.